Yo, what's up guys? Nitro here. And what you're looking at right now is, in fact, a lighting panel. A light panel that goes in between the taillights of my 1987 Firebird. I've made a couple videos on this car before. It is dark right now, as you can tell. And the lights look pink just because of the way that this iPhone camera works. However, make no mistake that you know, the color of your tail lights, if you go out and look at your tail lights right now, if you got regular bulbs, it is the same color red. But anyway, I'm showing this off because it is a product that I custom make, I modify, and do as a service, and I have this item listed on eBay. It is a service. I do not send you a panel already made. The way it works is you buy the thing on eBay, alright, and then I'm going to send you a message within a couple of hours, maybe at the most a day if I can't get to my phone for some reason or whatever, my phone's not working. Just know that there's some kind of extreme circumstance if I don't respond within a couple hours. But I'm going to respond, give you an address that you need to ship your panel to, and when you package it, you know, wrap it up in a foam wrap, bubble wrap, anything like that, and put some kind of a protectant on this lens right here, because this can get scratched on the cardboard. It's just plastic, you know. And I mean, if yours is in perfect condition and it looks like glass, you really want to put some kind of a protecting thing around it, like put it in some kind of a plastic Walmart bag or something like that, that will just protect it from getting scratched by anything that could be in your box. And make sure that you package it well. You want to put it in a box that is just slightly bigger than it. Wrap it up in bubble wrap really good. And make sure, the biggest thing is, once you get the whole thing packaged up, tape up the box and shake it pretty violently. Don't throw it on the ground or anything, but shake it. And if your thing can move around inside there, if you feel it, you need to take it apart and repackage it to where it cannot move. When it cannot move, it's ready to go. But anyway, the way that it works is I just have LED lights that are stuck to the car, and they are spliced into my tail lights, which are these two on either side. These two right here actually light up whenever you hit your brakes, and I didn't want it to light up whenever I hit my brakes, so they're not wired into those two, but these two. And it changes colors whenever the car is in reverse. But on mine, I have green lights for reverse. On the one that you receive, you will have white lights for reverse. The LED strips that I used on mine are also different than the LED strip or LED lights that you will receive whenever you get yours. And that just shows how, you know, it changes color whenever you turn on your reverse lights. And added benefit of this, look at how bright, I mean, actually you can barely tell in this lighting. Let me see if I can, yeah. Look at how bright the area is with that thing on. Like, green LEDs and white LEDs are very bright in the dark. And, you know, these two right here, they're not. they're not very good at lighting it up, but that was one thing I did not expect, but I totally noticed after I did it. Is I was like, wow, I can actually see when I back up now. But anyway, another thing I want to say is this panel here is the first one that I made. And the first one that I made is a lot lower quality than the one that you will receive. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. Remember, the one you will receive will be literally perfect. It will look like it came from factory like this. But if you notice, some of you already have, the keyhole right there, bird is not centered on it. All right, I don't know why. There's a gap right there, but there is. But anyway, you also notice, if I can get it to focus on it, and the bird itself is fuzzy. All right, the letters on mine are fuzzy. They are not perfect, and the reason is, when I originally made it, I made that decal. I literally drew it up and cut it out and made it. But the way that I use it now, I have a computer cut it out, and it's a perfect image every time. I get it perfectly centered every time. I've sold a couple, made a couple, and they look amazing. Now, if you go to eBay and type in Firebird light up panel, or Firebird light up tail light panel or something of that nature. Something like that. It should be one of the first things that comes up, and it'll be a picture that looks just like that. When you see that, click on it. Read the description to fully understand everything about it. It is something that will take some time for me to do. It takes me about a week to make one of these things. All right, and after I receive it, you know, I'll get started on it. If I receive it on Saturday, I'll probably get started on it Monday and make however many I get that week and then ship them out on Friday, whatever. But here's the thing. If you buy yours, say tomorrow, which will be 9/11, you know. If you buy yours tomorrow on Wednesday, but you don't ship it to me until 3 weeks later, please do not send any messages to me saying, where's my item? Because I'm going to assume that you didn't read the description. Because it is not something you buy and I ship to you immediately. It's not a product I have. You have to send me your panel. And the reason for this is just because there's not a whole lot of these panels available for me to obtain and modify and then ship. And plus, if I do it this way, it actually costs less for the buyer, for you guys. Because if you Google center panel for 3rd gen Firebirds, from what I've found, most people on the internet, if you can even find them, I've only bought one off the internet that I even found. A lot of 4th gens get sold, but I have only found one on the internet. And it was like $65. All right, they're going to be around $55 to $60 to $70 to $80 sometimes. That's just because no one sells them, so you can pretty much set the price at whatever you want. So for $139, that does include return shipping from me to you. You will send me your panel, I will modify it, and I will send it back. And, you know, it is way cheaper than me finding a panel, buying it, modifying it, and then selling it to you, and you have 2 panels then. One last thing. This panel that I have on my car, you cannot see it right now because it's dark and there's no light shining on it. However, this one I got out of a junkyard, and I did that as a test instead of doing the original panel on my car. I've since modified and sold the original panel on my car. It's gone. But that panel that I got out of a junkyard was scratchy and yellowed and, you know, not perfectly shiny because it was in a junkyard for, you know, 10 years, 15 years or whatever. And the reason I'm saying that is because your panel, if it is scratched up, if it is yellowed, if it is sun-baked, will return to you in that condition. I'm not going to modify and clean it up and make it better because I don't have a polisher. I don't want to burn the plastic because then it'll ruin it. And simply sanding it down and putting clear coat on it takes like hours to do. And if you mess it up at any step, you have to restart, and it's just a pain. So here's the deal. If you send me a panel that literally looks like glass on the outside, if it's been garage kept, has, you know, under 50,000 miles on the car, it's show car, whatever, you know, that's awesome if you have one of those, by the way. But if you send me one of those, when I get it, the first thing I'm going to do, wipe the face of the panel down, clean it, and then I'm going to put painter's tape that does not leave residue and will not mess up the plastic in any way across the whole face of it. A couple layers of it, like 3 or 4, to prevent it from getting scratched or dinged or dented or scuffed up in any way at all. All right? And so then I'll do the modification process, and then I'll send it back to you. And when I send it back to you, I'm going to put some kind of a protective layer on the outside of the panel. Now, I'm going to do this same protective step if your panel looks like it got pulled out of a swamp, or if your panel looks like it's made of glass, all right? So I don't want, you know, I don't want anybody saying, hey, I shipped you a perfect panel, and when I got it back, it wasn't shiny anymore, or whatever. I don't want to hear any of that, because it's not going to happen. Like, if, you know, there won't be any mistakes, because I've done 4 of them that way, and every single one of them have come out with no blemishes on the outside that they did not already have. So there's going to be nothing, no room for mistakes. Your panel will return to you in the same condition you shipped it to me, with the only change being that I modify the graphics and stuff on the inside. All right. Once I do that, You know, that's the only thing that changes, okay? It may have a different look to it, just a little bit, because I don't have the same OEM paint that GM used whenever they made these things in the 80s. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna use, you know, really high quality gloss black spray paint. That's what I use. And I do use really good spray paint. I know how to paint things with spray paint. I'm very good at it. And so you're gonna get a panel back that, to the untrained eye, or maybe even to you, looks like it could have come from factory. So if you guys want to pick one of these up, I do have them on eBay. Just get on the search bar and type in Firebird, one word, light up, panel. That's all you have to search. Pretty self-explanatory. When you see the one that comes up and looks like this, except not green, that's the one. Click on it, buy it, you know, whatever, and I will send you a message and let you know how many I have ordered already. And if I've got a ton or whatever, I might say, you know, wait a week or whatever before you ship me yours, because I'm not going to be able to get to it until then anyway. And I don't want to, you know, have you ship me your panel and then me not be able to get to it for a couple weeks, and you're wondering, like, why is it taking 5 weeks for him to do this? It said it was going to be a 3-week thing, which it is. Count a week for shipping, a week for modification, a week for return shipping. 3 weeks, it should be, you know, back to you. But if I'm way behind, you know, I'm not going to be able to do that, and so I'll just let you know, hey, you know, ship this to me in a couple weeks, or now. If you ship it to me now, you know, just know it's not going to get to you until then. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you're interested in getting one of these, they are $139. That does include return shipping. Just go on eBay, type in Firebird light up panel, and it should be one of the first things that pops up. Like the video. If you enjoyed this and you're excited about it, leave a comment letting me know if this was an idea that you've had before that you thought you could do, because I've actually had people tell me, like, whoa, that's something that I actually, you know, thought would be a cool thing to have, and then I never could figure out how to do it. You know, I've actually had people tell me that, and it's really cool because I was able to figure out how to do it. And I don't feel like it's an overpriced thing. Like, it's a process that takes a week. It's a process that requires tools that the average person doesn't have. Sure, the average person can spray paint, but the average person cannot get access to a $3,000 vinyl machine to make your logo, and also does not have access to LED lights that are sign grade. And what I mean by that is that in a sign, like if you see a McDonald's sign, all right, that sucker, if it's built new and has LED lights in it, I think they're Hanley, Hanley LED. I think that's the brand that I use. Can't quite remember. But those lights are meant to light up a sign from dark till not dark, you know, however long that is, every single night, every single day for years. And the LED lights last for 10 or 15 years in signs when they're lit up 12 or 15 hours a day. And if this is on your car, you know, you might be driving a couple of hours a night every single night, maybe. But even then, it's going to last 2 or 3 or 4 times as long as they last in signs. And in signs, they last for 10 years or so. And so if you put the lights in it now and drive it for a couple of hours a night every single night, which is not likely because it's a collector car or whatever, you don't drive them at night that much because deer like to attack you like they did me. But you get my drift. The lights should last, you know, they should outlast every other regular light bulb you put in this vehicle. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And they are completely waterproof, water resistant. You shouldn't have to worry about getting them wet whenever you wash your car, as long as you're not, you know, dunking them in water. And even then, they may be okay. I don't really know. But, I mean, you know, use common sense. They're lights. You know, they're gonna not get affected by weather. I've had these in my car for about 2.5, 3 years. And these are cheap LED lights that I got from Wish. And they were like $1 for 2 of them. And they've stayed working in my car for 2 or 3 years, as long as they have. But I'm pretty sure they're going to go out in a couple years. And I did not want to use cheap lights like that for my product. My lights should last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, depending on how much you keep it lit up. And in the daytime, you'll see on the eBay ad, in the daytime, the panel does look a little bit different. It doesn't have silver that's shiny or red or orange or anything like that, but you can still see the bird and you can still read Pontiac very clearly. And in my opinion, this is so worth it. All right, you know, you don't have the shiny bird, you don't have the shiny orange logo or whatever, but you can still totally easily see the logo. You can still see it has the bird and says Pontiac. But then when it turns nighttime, you know, you go to a car show or whatever, you're just cruising down the strip with your buddies, they're gonna see that and their jaws are gonna hit the floor. It's a cool thing. Get it? Thank you for watching. Like the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna make an update video on all the stuff I've done to my car over the last 2 years in a few days, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.